Imagine trying to survive in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, where freezing winds slice through the air like blades, and the sun disappears for months at a time. To most people, this would seem impossible. But for the Inuit, it's just another day. Scientists have been astounded by how this Arctic tribe manages to thrive in conditions so brutal that most humans would quickly succumb. Their ability to endure such extremes, from bone-chilling temperatures to a reliance on hunting massive marine animals, has left researchers scratching their heads in disbelief. The Inuits' traditional diet would be considered deadly by modern health standards. It consists almost entirely of fatty meats from whales, seals, and fish, with barely any fruits or vegetables. According to conventional science, such a diet should result in dangerously high cholesterol and rampant heart disease. Yet surprisingly, the Inuit have some of the healthiest cardiovascular systems ever recorded. The reason lies in a rare genetic adaptation that allows their bodies to metabolize fats differently, essentially giving them a biological advantage in one of the coldest places on Earth. But it's not just diet that sets the Inuit apart. Their bodies seem built for the cold. They tend to have shorter limbs and stockier builds, features that help retain body heat. Even more remarkable is their accelerated metabolism, which produces heat far more efficiently than in most other people. This allows them to stay warm with minimal clothing, even in temperatures that can cause frostbite in minutes. In many ways, it's as if their bodies have been fine-tuned by evolution specifically for Arctic survival. Their adaptations go beyond biology. Language plays a key role in shaping their perception of the world. Inuktitut, the Inuit language, doesn't describe direction using relative terms like left or right. Instead, it relies on absolute orientation, north, south, east, west. This means that even when blindfolded and spun in circles, an elder can still accurately point north. Studies suggest that speakers of Inuktitut may actually perceive time and space differently due to how their grammar is structured. These insights hint at a profound connection between the Inuit and their environment, one that modern science still struggles to fully understand. In another part of the world, an astonishing social phenomenon took root during World War II in the Pacific Islands. Isolated communities, unfamiliar with modern technology, suddenly witnessed massive aircraft landing on their shores, bringing food, clothing, and weapons. To these villagers, it felt as though gods had descended from the skies. What they didn't know was that these were simply military supply drops from the United States. The mysterious arrival of these goods led to the creation of what anthropologists now call cargo cults. These islanders began imitating the behavior of the soldiers in hopes of summoning more cargo. They built wooden replicas of airplanes and runways, marched in formation, and even painted USA on their bodies. Despite their efforts, the supplies never returned after the war ended. But for the islanders, this wasn't just a withdrawal of military personnel. It felt like a spiritual abandonment. Some believed their gods had been taken away, and they continued their rituals for decades, hoping the sky would once again open with gifts. While modern scholars often use cargo cult to describe blind imitation, for the people who lived through it was a deeply spiritual experience grounded in awe and desperation. Far from the tropical islands of the Pacific, deep in the forests of northeast India, the Naga people have built a reputation for fierce independence and intense cultural pride. Comprising more than 40 tribes spread across India and Myanmar, the Naga have long lived by hunting and agriculture, but they are perhaps best known for their warrior history. Tales of Naga warriors taking on tigers with their bare hands still circulate, reinforcing their legacy as some of the fiercest fighters in the region. Their society, while built on warrior values, also places significant responsibility on women. Naga women manage households and contribute meaningfully to community life. One unique aspect of their tradition involves inheritance. When the eldest son marries, he inherits the family home, while the parents voluntarily move out to establish a new residence. For generations, this system has helped maintain social balance. Yet it's the Naga's past practice of headhunting that draws the most attention. Until the late 20th century, warriors gained honor and social status by taking the heads of enemies in battle. These grisly trophies weren't just symbols of victory, they were seen as markers of manhood and respect. The more heads a man collected, the more revered he became. Tattoos on the body served as permanent records of these achievements. Although the practice has since been outlawed, its legacy remains a powerful part of Naga identity. In the remote highlands of Papua New Guinea, the Yali people live far removed from the modern world. Surrounded by dense forests and steep mountains, they have maintained their traditional lifestyle for generations. Isolated and self-reliant, they remained unknown to outsiders until one British explorer ventured into their territory decades ago. Their isolation preserved customs that modern civilization had long since left behind. On the islands of Panama, the Kuna people also fiercely preserve their culture. Known for their bright clothing and bold textile art, they appear peaceful at first glance, but their commitment to spiritual and territorial integrity is intense. For the Kuna, rituals are not symbolic gestures but essential practices meant to maintain balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. Animal sacrifices are still carried out, viewed as vital to pleasing ancestral spirits. These ceremonies, often misunderstood by outsiders, play a central role in Kuna life. The Kuna are also known for resisting external influence. They have pushed back against outsiders who threaten their land or way of life, and have established firm control over their territories. Their determination to maintain cultural autonomy has made them one of the most self-governing indigenous groups in the region. Far across the globe in the icy expanse of northeast Russia, the Chukchi people have lived for thousands of years in conditions as brutal as any on Earth. Their homeland in the Chukotka region is one of the coldest places on the planet. With a population of about 16,000, the Chukchi continue to follow the ways of their ancestors, even after contact with modern civilization during the Soviet era. Some towns now have schools and hospitals, but the essence of Chukchi life remains intact. The Chukchi divide into two main groups: inland herders and coastal hunters. The inland Chukchi rely on reindeer for food, clothing, and transport, while the coastal Chukchi brave frigid waters to hunt seals, walrus, and whales. Though some hunting tools have modernized, many traditions remain unchanged. Their homes, polygon-shaped tents called urus, are built from reindeer skins and anchored with stones to withstand fierce Arctic winds. Inside, a central fire keeps the space warm enough for people to wear light clothing, even in sub-zero temperatures. Despite changes around them, the Chukchi remain deeply committed to their heritage. In the sun-scorched plains of East Africa, the Surma people of Ethiopia and South Sudan have developed their own distinct way of life. Divided into three tribes, Turga, Chai, and Bale, the Surma are known for cattle herding and farming. They have resisted attempts by governments to assimilate them into modern society and have fiercely defended their cultural independence, even when it led to violent clashes. Although the Surma are private about their customs, one practice that stands out is their elaborate body modifications. Women adorn themselves with intricate scar patterns, floral designs, and large clay lip plates. These plates, which require the removal of front teeth and gradual stretching of the lower lip, are considered symbols of beauty and status. The larger the plate, the greater a woman's perceived worth, and the more cattle her father receives as dowry. Though extreme to outsiders, this tradition is a point of pride among Surma women who see their bodies as living works of art. Nearby, the Mercy tribe of Ethiopia shares similar customs, but takes them to even more intense levels. The Mercy women also wear massive lip plates, and their size signifies both attractiveness and social importance. But the Mercy are not known only for their appearance. Life in their rugged environment is marked by frequent conflict, and the Mercy are often heavily armed, carrying AK-47s as they patrol their land. Firearms have replaced traditional weapons not only for defense but also for cattle raiding, an ingrained part of their culture. These conflicts aren't just about survival. They serve as tests of strength and community honor. For outsiders, visiting the Mercy is risky. They are wary of strangers and extremely protective of their territory and traditions. While some researchers and travelers have managed to gain access, it's always under strict conditions. Despite their reputation for aggression, the Mursi are deeply rooted in tradition and driven by a profound respect for their ancestors. Their way of life is both a reflection of resilience and a defiance of modern encroachment. Isolation reaches its peak on North Sentinel Island in the Andaman Sea, where the Sentinelese live in almost complete seclusion. Known for their fierce hostility toward outsiders, the Sentinelese have rejected all attempts at contact. For thousands of years, they've survived through hunting, fishing, and gathering, relying entirely on the island's resources.